Hello everyone and welcome to a special video for Star Trek Online on something that I figure that I'm going to be doing sort of once a month or so, just to add a little bit of spice to the channel. We're going to do a bit of lockbox cracking. You might see that I have here 20 master keys and I also have a lot of Infinity Lockboxes. Now, the Infinity Lockbox is fairly special in Star Trek Online in that it can have pretty much anything in it, and that's why it's called an Infinity Lockbox. Now, just so that everyone out there can cry and complain to me about how much money I'm wasting and all the rest of it, or at least in-game money I'm wasting, if you have a look on the exchange, you can see that Lockbox keys are currently trading for about 6.5 million energy credits each. So I am literally looking at just this item here, which costs the equivalent of about, I suppose, $20. They cost about $1 each, master keys. So the equivalent of these, I'd be looking at 130 million energy credits, which currently is about 3 times as many energy credits as I have. But then again, energy credits are so easy to farm in this game, I would not actually be surprised if I decided to do this on a monthly basis. I would not be surprised if I could make at least 10 to... I might be able to make the full 20 master keys just in energy credits. So don't be crying too much. It makes it pretty easy, or at least it's fairly easy to get. It's fairly easy to get resources in this game. As you can see, I'm not doing too badly, and this is just off one character, so there's really not too much to worry about. And this is a character who I don't mass farm. I have one character from every faction, and I think that before I recently came back into the game during the coronavirus layoff that we've had, or at least the staying at home that we've had, I can see that the rubber banding hasn't changed. I think that it's been about 2 or 3 years before I played, so there's a load of content for me to play through, and overall I'm looking forward to it. Now, what I am going to do is edit in to this video exactly how much money I'm losing, so it's going to be quite difficult on some of these because some of the items aren't tradable that come out of the lockbox, so things like VIP dilithium claims. But to be honest, dilithium, again, when you're at endgame and you've got things like the Admiralty system, you've got duty officers, you've got all the endgame skirmishes you can do, you've got patrols, getting to, and contraband, etc. Getting to 8,000 dilithium a day is very easy whether you have the rich dilithium claims or not, so in my mind they're pretty much worthless. Lobi crystals, which I have here, Lobi crystals, I am going to be using a converter. I'll use that at the end. The reason I feel I can do that is that Lobi crystals, if we go into them, they have a certain value to them, because each of these ships that you can buy using Lobi crystals has a set value. Usually these ships go for about 550 million energy credits on the exchange, so therefore if you do a quick amount of maths, you'll see that each Lobi crystal is probably worth somewhere in the region of sort of 600,000 energy credits, somewhere in that region. So I can do a bit of a conversion on that and see where we're going. Next up, very nice looking out over San Francisco. I think that the other thing that I will be doing, I am recording this live, but I think that one of the other things I will do, use these videos for, again, is sort of a monthly update and how things are going. So the game that I settled on doing next as an actual in-channel Let's Play was Theme Hospital, and I'm about 2/3 the way through that. However, one of the things that I noted when I was looking through all the walkthroughs on YouTube for Theme Hospital is that they tend to follow exactly the same line, which is that someone plays through the level, literally doesn't edit it at all, and you end up with 2.5 hours worth of just watching someone do the same thing constantly. So the walkthrough that I do for Theme Hospital is going to be much more edited down, because to be honest, I think I would rather watch paint dry than watch a 2-hour strategy level where someone literally just watches a money counter go up for an hour and a half. So there will be a lot of editing done, and I will try and focus more on the overall strategy rather than literally just the literally just showing the level being played out, because I think that would probably be boring. So it's one of the things that I do try and do to make things a lot more watchable. So I'm going to try and keep the videos down to between 20 minutes and 30 minutes, and at least have stuff going on screen. So without further ado, I'm going to start opening these boxes, and we're going to see exactly how much or how little money I'm going to earn. Just make sure I've got plenty of bank space, because if I ended up getting like a tier 6 ship and I didn't have room for it, I might be rather upset. So let's have a look at, let's open box number 1. And I got a cross-faction console, so, and 4 Lobi crystals. So again, we will look and see what I can get here, see some of the options that I can get, and I think that one's okay. Could get a salvage console as well. I think this does include, see, back in the day I've never had these to open, but this back in the day, if it's cross-faction, this could potentially at the time include a plasmonic leech, which was very expensive at the time. But again, I'm kind of out of touch a little bit, so I will basically look at the most expensive item on the exchange, and I'll put it down in the corner for you. Okay, let's go for another. Oh my! Oh my! Oh my! Oh my! That is a tier 6 ship. Okay, no, this isn't cheating. This has been done live, okay? That is a tier 6 ship. That is 550 million energy credits. So I've already made back effectively 4 times the investment that I've put in. I do have an idea what ship I do want here as well. There are a couple that have traits that I really do want, but we will let's answers on a postcard in the channel on this one. Which ship do you think's there? In fact, oh god, I'm gonna have to look, I will edit in on the screen, should be coming up now. These are the options for a tier 6 ship. So yeah, have a look and see what you guys think I can possibly do, but I am pretty floored by that. Okay, I really don't want to open 18 more now, because there's really was point. I could only lose money, but hey, let's go. Number 3, Fleet Support Duty Officer Pack and 4 Lobi. I'm pretty sure that's worth next to nothing, but we'll keep going on. Zindi experimental kits. I think they're not much. The 9 Lobi crystal is definitely worth more than what that is. Infinity weapon pack. 14 Lobi crystals though. That's an awful lot of crystals to get from a pack. Just making sure that I didn't double up there. In fact, it looks like I did double up there, because I started with 252. Yeah, so I think I doubled up there, so it was actually only 5. Got to open a little bit slower. Zindi duty officers. So have a look at those. I think they're fairly decent, but I'm not sure that the traits on Zindi duty officers are actually too great. I do like this, how you can look back in, but oh dear, oh dear. Yeah. Let's have another one, shall we? A 100 fleet mark bonus pool. Yep, that's worth nothing. 4 Lobi crystals. Okay, fine. 20% additional fleet marks. Really? So, just to show you how useless these sort of things are to me, if you come up here, to my duty officers, if you look at my overview, you will see that I've completed all of them. For every 10,000 over, you get either 75 or 150 fleet marks, depending on if you crit the mission. So I can do these like 5 or 6 at a time usually, so an extra 100 isn't really going to apply for me. Next up, kit module. Okay, fine, not really a big deal. 5 Lobi crystals. I'm still just... These are bound to they're bound to the character until I crack it, and then it's a case of which ship I actually want to look at. So let's open another. Personal trait in space. Okay, there are quite a few personal traits which are pretty good. In fact, just give me a second. Things like context is for kings, which is one of the best traits in the game, is in here, and I'm going to look at some others. It's going to very much depend on cyclical power capacities as well. That's another good one. So it's going to very much depend on what I can, on what I need. So, yep, that's one I'm happy to open. Next up, Infinity Prize Weapon Pack. I'm not convinced there's too much going on in there, or at least nothing that there's a lot of stuff in there, but again, I'm not convinced there's too much in there, although there are herald weapons in there, which would be quite cool. Open up. Another personal trait in space. Okay, so if I do need any personal traits from space, this is going to be very interesting. In fact, I'm going to see if I do actually need any. I'm not convinced that I do need some, or I do need them at the moment. And yeah, dilithium mining claims. These are, these have 0 value. So, yeah, nice to have, but they are 0 value. 35,000 fleet credit bonus pool, again 0 value. 4 Lobi crystals, 2.4 million. And this is where the Lobi crystals are very much sort of where the value of most of the keys comes from, because the lowest amount you can get is 4, and just by the calculation we were doing earlier, where you're looking about 600,000 credits per Lobi crystal, so you're looking at getting 2.5 million energy credits back just from your Lobi crystals in a box. So if you do open something that you can sell for 4 million, you're going to get your thing back. And space traits, traits can be worth anything up to 20 or 30 million if they're really good traits. And ships, as I said, they're in the hundreds of millions, so we've easily made money on this one. Zenkethi intelligence briefings. They are custom duty officer missions. Not sure they're worth much, about 1 million. Lobi crystals, again, lowest value. Fleet credit pool, worth nothing, only 4 Lobi crystals again. And wait for that to go. Starship trait. Okay, what can we actually get from the starship traits? Because starship traits are interesting ones, because what this does, I was hoping that these would be ones where you don't have to, these are ones where you don't have to buy the starship, but it looks like none of them are actually that useful for the ones that I want. I don't think any of the ones that I need are, I don't think any of the ones that I want are going to be in here, and they're not really great. I think that most of the traits that I need sadly come from either Lobi ships, or they come from traits that aren't available in the store yet. 35,000 fleet credit bonus pool, another absolute sack of rubbish. But we do get another 5 Lobi crystals, so 3 million from that. Weapon packs, they're not worth too much, so we shall move on. Kit modules. I'm not even sure what would be in these kit modules. Is there anything useful in here? You can get Cold Fusion Flash, which is probably one of the best science kits. I think that's a very, very good one. That's probably, in terms of science, that's probably the one that you do want the most out of any of the ones that are there. There are a couple of other ones there as well, and then there's some universal ones as well. So we have the Echo Papa 607 drone, which I know is a pretty I'm fairly certain that that's a popular one. We also have things like, if I can find it, no, doesn't look like we do. No, doesn't look like we do. Okay, so last one, and we get another kit module. Okay, so we've got quite a few things going on there. Some of the stuff I do want. Obviously the highlight was from the second box, which is the tier 6 ship. So we did get ourselves a tier 6 ship, which is absolutely crazy that we've got a tier 6 ship here. I'm not convinced. I honestly don't know if any of them are going to work as far as Starship Mastery traits go, but I think it's just great having some of these ships available. And even if I don't want to keep the ship, I think that I could just make 500 million energy credits, and then I would be able to fund this little project for a few months to come. So either way, whatever, we'll see what we can do there. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I trust me, this is not rigged. This is what I came up with, and this is what I ended up doing. So I will leave you with what's on screen. This is Boomer. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.